Hello everyone, I'm Salman Abulatif. It's great being here today with you with this recorded session. I'll be talking about the silent observer, which is the use of Wi-Fi SNR fluctuations in malware development and environment discovery for malware. I'll be tackling a couple of topics. I'll be talking about the background behind this research, the discovery of the initial stage, the risk of using that discovery or that methodology in malware development, and the defenses to implement against that. I'll also tackle the proof of concept basics, like how I went from the initial stage to implementing some sort of developments or improvements into the existing prototype, and then how I got my final stage, final script to work just good enough for me to rely on when I develop my malware. And I'll go to the future research and discoveries that we should put in our hands together in order to come out with new ideas, just to make it more robust and better to implement on both sides, the offensive and the defensive side, to defend against such methodologies. So let me give a brief introduction about myself. As I mentioned, my name is Salman Abulatif. I am a computer science student at Al Hussein Technical University in Jordan. I've attended a couple of conferences over the past years. I went to Kazakhstan in the past period. I've attended the CDS. The CDS is a military-related conference in which they present military-related solutions. Then I went to Black Hat also in 2022 that took place in Middle East and Africa. And I went to SOFIX, the Special Operation Forces exhibition that took place in Jordan. I've also attended the World Youth Festival that took place in Russia, and I got my OSCP, CRTP, CRTS over the past couple of years. So, the introduction and the motivation behind building such idea or building such methodology came from the race of always developing better malware in order to evade existing solutions or existing measures. We currently have AVs and EDRs. Both work perfectly to a certain level. Some are better, some are bad, some are good. Some can detect a lot of features within the system and also use AI in order to analyze these features to come out with the best results. Other also use such old strategies such as signature discoveries. However, we are here trying to introduce a new layer, a new vector, which is the physical vector, in order to come out with new ways and ideas to overcome the detection mechanisms implemented within the market or the industry itself, and also making the malware aware about its environment is really beneficial for hackers for mapping networks of people instead of mapping only networks of devices. You can imagine it like Bloodhound, but for humans. We can, for example, map the whole company and come out with a map for how people behave and work over specific period of times using this methodology, and come out with a map that is close to Bloodhound, using the information we get from the network itself and from the environment discoveries using the SNR and Wi-Fi radio signals. Why is this important? Why should you invest your time in learning or maybe developing such technologies? We simply need to be the bad guys for a certain period of time just to come out with new ideas to act against them. So this idea is just a proof of concept for some technologies that can be integrated with malware in order to make it more robust, and we should all try to find maybe solutions to act upon such attacks if happened against real companies or real infrastructures within a certain area in order to defend against these malicious actors. So for the background concepts and the main things that you should keep in mind while watching this presentation, mainly you should, we all, in the beginning, we all know Wi-Fi, we all use it. It's a vital part in our lives. You should know that it's a radio wave, it's a signal. We can detect these signals using a couple of measures. We can detect them based on their strength, or we can calculate the noise around them that are causing some interruptions, for example, or come out with some calculations to find where are the obstacles in order to see how effective this signal is reaching its target. Mainly, it's a radio wave. In the 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz spectrum. For the SNR, or signal to noise ratio, we are keeping in mind three things. The main thing is the strength of the signal, the strength of the wave, and the noise floor, which is you can imagine it as how much noise exists within the certain area that's affecting this the power of the signal or the strength of the signal. And you can calculate the SNR by getting the power of the signal and deducting or moving out the noise floor in order to come out with this calculation. The higher SNR means more stable, faster and faster connection, which we'll see in a couple of slides how the higher SNR means that the person is away from the laptop or the device, and the lower means that the person is close to the device. SNR is highly affected by many things. One of these things are humans. Humans act as obstacles. So let's talk a little bit about some of the biology, the underlying biology of the human. We know that the human body is about 70%, it consists about 70% of water, and water is a good absorber and sometimes reflector of the radio waves, in which we can use the SNR to predict the presence of a human within a certain area. And as you can see in the slide, the person moves through a Wi-Fi field means two things mainly: the absorption of the signal or the reflection of the signal. Both affect the noise within the area. Both affects the noise of the radio signal, which means that as hackers, as attackers, we can detect the presence of humans within this certain environment. As for some background concepts or the existence of SNR before this discovery, it was not a secret. It was always known for companies or inventors. They implemented it in a couple of areas, for example in security, in order to detect intrusions within certain areas. The SNR, as I mentioned, is affected by many things, many obstacles as any other waves. So it was implemented before this discovery in many areas. However, this time it's implemented in malware, which is something that was not previously known or discovered or implemented in real life. So we are trying here to put this SNR calculation into our malware in order to make our malware environment aware and make or introduce a new vector for our attack or our kill chain. And also the AI analysis within the malware should be discussed. We'll discuss this in a couple of future slides, but you should know that without AI this could not happen, because SNR, as I mentioned, is fluctuating always between the office and the and home, it really varies. So we should have some generalized way of calculating the SNR and dealing with the signals we receive in order to classify them as, for example, in our case, as a human present or not. As for real life implementations, for our cases, for attackers, for hackers, let's imagine that you've gained access to our website using SQL injection, and now you have your remote code execution. Now what's next? You will start learning about the network, learning about your privileges, learning about how to laterally move within the network. And let's say that you're now enterprise admin, so you have full access over everything. You are simply the head of the network. Now what's next? In the old methodology, this is the maximum thing you can reach. But now, as you have full access over the network, you can use SNR and this methodology in order to map people, try to understand people more, and as a result, conduct social engineering attacks based on that. For example, let's say that after gaining full access, you started mapping the company, mapping the people, days of work, days of weekends, days of holidays, how much they work, their breaks, when they work the most, when they work less. Over a period of time, for example, if you want to execute a ransomware, you will know the best time to execute such attacks instead of just monitoring the keyboard or monitoring the mouse, because as we all know, people can be close to the laptops, close to the computers, especially if the system is automated system. They just need to check like errors or some sort of notifications, so they won't be interacting directly with the keyboard or mouse that much. So we need to also have a new sensor that detects their presence within the area. Here comes the importance of the use of SNR in malware development. We'll make sure that we're at all times aware of everything happening within the network and within the environment itself physically, not only within the on a network level. So I've mentioned the AI, I've mentioned how AI really helped in improving and putting this idea into effect in real life. I'll discuss in a couple of more slides how I used to get really bad results just because my script was not general enough. I used just to put like greater than sign in the number, and if the SNR is greater than, for example, 10, let's consider it that he's far from his laptop or he's far from the device. That's not really a good way of measuring stuff. So the use of AI helped me improve the detection accuracy and confidence by reducing the variance within the signals itself. Getting more results from different places helped me make sure that when I get a signal or when I get the SNR results, I can really predict if this is a human in the area or not. And also I dealt with fluctuations. Different areas, different days have different obstacles. Different obstacles can cause different fluctuations within the signal noise to ratio rate. And as a result, the AI helped generalize that and come out with better results. And also pattern recognition. Instead of just using this data for certain for certain detections of certain parts of the day, for example, you can detect patterns within an environment. For example, let's say that the AI detects over a certain hour that the human is close always to this device. Then you can map that at this time you should not execute your attack. You should wait in order for this for the human to move away and for you to execute your payload. And after implementing the model, things started getting much better. I just need to note that it's a simple machine learning model. It's not that sophisticated thing. It's not that big of a neural network. It's just a machine learning model. But even using machine learning model helped. So in the future stages, putting also more advanced AI models would really help improving the accuracy of this idea. And as for the initial stages, I've mentioned that in the initial stages I used to get the really bad results, and yeah, that's these screenshots are from the initial stages. For example, when I put my hands over the keyboard, I used to get very close, which is the expected result. However, you should keep in mind that I used to have many trial and error errors before putting the numbers within the if statement at the initial stage. But now things are a little bit more advanced, more accurate. When I moved 3 meters, it used to show that I'm in a mid-range, 3 to 5 meters away from the device or the laptop. And when I got out of the room, or when I got, for example, really far, it showed that I'm far away. I'm more than 5 meters away. And as you can guess, I put it like this: if you are 3 to 5 meters, you can maybe reach the laptop or interact with the laptop. So in a mid-range, you should stay outside of the area of attacking. You should not attack. However, when it gets too far away, you should start your payload and your malware should start acting. For the very close, it's obvious that you should not execute anything. And for this experiment, I used a normal TP-Link Wi-Fi adapter, which is really available within the market. And the outcomes for the initial stage were a little bit shocking, because opening the door of my room affected the signal. For example, opening the room showed that I'm always away from the laptop, because the obstacle, the door simply was removed, so the signal increased, which meant that that I'm far away, which is a false positive result. It's not right. I was really close to the laptop, and the positioning of the laptop, when I point the Wi-Fi adapter to the opposite side of me, it reads different readings. It used to do that before implementing AI, and when turning the laptop, it used to fluctuate a lot. So implementing AI solved both of these problems, or minimized them to the least. As for the real life POC, or for the experimentation, you can see me just going back and forth, close and far, and you see the results coming out. So now I will start the script, and I'm about 2.5 meters away from my laptop. It shows far away. So let me get closer now, and it should change to like mid-range and then closer. Yeah, chose near, and it should now maybe show like very close. Yeah, it shows now that I'm very close. So let me get back. It goes to mid-range, then far away. And as you can see, things changed based on my positioning or my closeness to the laptop. When I got closer, things changed. The SNR decreased when I get closer. When I get a little bit more away, a little bit away from the laptop, the SNR started showing higher, or higher results, which meant that I'm far away from my laptop, which can be used for for malware in order to detect the presence of humans around around a certain area or a certain network. We'll discuss the integration on a network level in a later slides. So now And as for the code, as you can see in the top part, we have a while loop. It's just, this function is just like conceptual for the concept. It's not for real implementation thing, but it's for the concept. We start by getting the wireless adapters, seeing what's available, and as we get our hands on one of the network interfaces, we start using it to calculate the SNR. After calculating the SNR, we start to detect the human presence using this matrix or this calculation, and we start using AI to maybe amplify or using AI to improve the confidence and accuracy of our results and readings. And when after that, we start making the decision if the human is close or far. Based on that, we will execute the payload or not, and this will be in a looping process. So it will always work when the human is far away. It will not when the human is close to the laptop. And for the improvements and the future stuff to put together as offensive and defensive teams, we should, as offensive or red teamers, we should always keep in mind that this should be implemented over multiple devices or on a network level. For example, after getting access to a company, we should implement that on all devices connected to a network in order to get better results and readings about humans within the area. And we should also keep in mind one thing, that if we can do that for the Wi-Fi, it's a radio related thing. We can also do it for other things like the Bluetooth. Implementing diverse hardware or more than one hardware will help us in making sure that we have diversified resources, use of resources, in order to reduce the chance of getting caught. And also we should make sure that we for example, in a social engineering attack, we detect specific human and we start mapping their movement, understanding how they act, and based on that, we can come out with profiling for each person. As for the defensive side needs to put a lot of effort into defending against such new vectors, physical vectors mainly. For example, the behavior of an application should be monitored on a usage level. For example, if the software is using, for example, Windows APIs to get the information about the strength of the signal, this should be detected, and based on that, it should be blocked or stopped. For the hardware control part, you simply should shut down or disable all unused network interfaces within your network, because simply, if not, you're opening a new physical vector or vulnerability on the network, which can affect you in later stages or in future attacks. Also, for the permission control, simply people that should not have permission to have full control over their hardware or the readings from the hardware should not have this permission, just to make sure that only people that needs this permission gets it at the right time, just to make sure that things are not in a mess, and attackers can simply use everyone's account just to get access to such low level radio related data. And as for implementing things at vendor level or at R&D level for EDRs and AVs, we simply should put AI against itself. As we mentioned, AI helped us as attackers to develop the POC of this discovery, and we should put also AI in order to defend against that, simply by maybe getting the signatures of such softwares, or maybe making it more advanced to monitor all the behaviors of the of a certain software, and based on that to act upon it if it uses a lot of environment related sensing maybe features. And as for the implementation in cybersecurity itself, as I've mentioned, there are a lot of things to consider when implementing it in the cybersecurity field. We can map networks, we can profile people based on their movement, and we can use maybe multiple radio-related hardware in order to get more data and improve our assessment for the movement of people. However, we can also make like bypass some defenses by not using a lot of network related things, but just using the readings from the strength of the Wi-Fi signals, and based on that to act upon. The processes, as I mentioned, should be launched just at the times where people are away from their devices, and simply outside the business hours. And also there should be always a challenge for forensics now, in a physical level. Forensics should now operate on a physical level instead of just operating on a software related level, just to make sure that all readings are legitimate, are not a threat. They should make sure that applications and the signal itself is not being tampered with by the malicious actors. As for the conclusion of or a recap of everything that we've discussed, within this presentation, I've discussed that malware now can be environment aware, and we can use that as attackers for our benefits. Something as ubiquitous as Wi-Fi signals can be used in order to introduce a new attack vector, which is the physical vector, and this can be added to the kill chain. Also, using the AI helped us make the detection more robust of humans, and as a result come with better system to get implemented on a malware. However, on the other side, there should be defensive measures taken. There should be actions put into effect. For researchers, they should explore this field more or better, especially researchers within the cybersecurity field, in order to come with new ideas related to the blue teaming part or the red teaming part. And for the vendors should keep in mind that this new attack vector should be monitored, should be read, or should be put into they should keep this in mind while detecting such malicious behaviors, just to make sure that all the vectors are covered and none of the threats can make use of such readings or such features within a system. And we all should always think about what's a malicious behavior, just to make sure that we're always on the safe side of things. Just to always keep in mind that we should monitor everything within a network. So it was really an honor to me to be part of this event. I'd really be glad if I can present in the future topics or developments for such technologies. And I really have great appreciation and gratefulness for you all that are watching my session. Thank you all for giving me this chance to be part of this event, and thank you all for watching this presentation, hoping to be part of future events. Thank you all.